Right, I've cut all my papers all out ready, and I've inked all the edges, so they're all ready to go. But before we do that, what I want you to do, let me move this page out of the way because we'll deal with that in a minute, is to actually attach our ribbon to fasten our project together. So if we go back to the original, I've got a piece from the top flat, and then I've got a piece that's from the back there. Okay, so let's get this attached. Now you can measure it, or you can just do a rough guide, whatever you feel fit to do, whatever you feel more comfortable doing, I should say. So if I bring this in, I'm looking at a 6-inch measurement. There's my 3-inch mark. So if I lay my ribbon on there, I've got some nice wide double-sided sticky. Okay, so I'm going to pop a bit there. Now be mindful not to go right to the edge, because I always have a little 1/8 of an inch gap to actually so my papers have got a nice frame round them. So I'm going to pop 2 pieces on here, because as I say, this is the foundations of your book and you don't want it falling apart in years to come. So then if you go straight over and have your ribbon down towards you, you're going to have your next piece coming off the back. So if you hold that in place, you'll see exactly where you need to attach it. So if I go there, okay, and there, okay. Alright, so that's all now ready, attached to go. And actually, while we got the project on the back, this is where we're going to start with the piece that goes at the back. As I say, all the measurements for your pattern paper are over on my website, dawnsinspirations.com, so you can check them all out there to get them all done. Okay, so this is the piece for the back, and this is measuring 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I've done it like that so I've got that nice gap all the way around the edge. So I've used my all-purpose glue of choice, as you know, ladies that have been following me for years. And in fact, actually what I should have done is just take my backing off my double-sided tape. I don't have to, but it just makes sense really, doesn't it? So let's just whip that off. Oh, hasn't stuck to the card. There we go, let's whip that off. 1, 2, let's move those out of the way. That's it, bring that back down. Okay, so that's that one. And then if we go over, let's do now the top flap. So I've got my papers for my top flap. So I'm going to lay that down flat, and we will just check my papers fit. Okay, it's always a good idea just to double check everything fits okay. You'll see I've just inked the edges as well. So this time we get the tape off first before we attach the glue. Just a lot easier, isn't it? Okay. Alright. And then straight in with my okay, so go near the edge and then a squiggle in the middle. So this is going to be the front. Now when you're decorating this, you have to also be mindful not to put too many 3D embellishments, okay, because if you put too many 3D embellishments, for a start it's not going to fit in your presentation box, and another thing is it won't lay nice and flat. So I'm just going to whip this over and we're going to do the other side. So again, glue all the way around. The reason I like this glue, if you can get hold of it, it dries like concrete, So it's a nice extra layer to your project, which is good. Also, if you get a little bit there like seep out, if you wipe it with your hand, got it all on my nails as well, if you wipe it on your hand, it rubs away just like a rubber, can you see? And it won't mark your project. So I can just rub that away and that won't interfere with my project at all. So that's the top flap. So now let's do the bottom flap. So I'm just going to lay this, so I've got it more or less flat to do. So it's just a fact of sticking this down. So I'll speed this up a little bit, stop talking, because I want to show you how you're going to glue the other side down. Okay, and I'm mindful of showing you how to do the waterfall. So if there's any newbie crafters to mini books out there, it's a great way to do it. Plus the fact, I believe anybody can do mini books. With the right tuition, anybody is more than able to make a mini book. And that is why I love sharing videos like this in real time, so you can see how easy it is to do. So top and bottom flap done. So now let's go in with the right hand side. Move those out of the way. Let's go in with the right hand side here. So I've got some nice bright papers here. So I've got the back and the front. Gorgeous papers in this paper collection. I think you will agree with me. I think they are just absolutely stunning. But you could use any papers for this. You could use a 6x6 paper pad. You could use a 12x12 paper pad. I've actually used a 12x12 paper pad out of this collection. But you could quite easily use the 6x6 as well. Okay, it works just as easily. But it's a lovely book to make. Great to give as gifts as well. These things are nice for. They're great to house events. You know, say you've been to a wedding or a christening, or, you know, anything. You've had a day trip out even. Just a lovely way to pop your photos from one event in one mini album. You know, get those photographs off your phones and cameras. You know, get them printed out. Let's see them in these lovely books. I would much rather look at photos in a mini book than photos holding someone's phone. So yeah, just go for it. Have fun. And I bet you've all got plenty of cardstock and pattern papers in your crafty stash at home. You might have little bits of one collection and little bits of another collection. See if they match up. You know, quite easy to do. These are lovely to give new parents if you've been to see their new baby and taken a few snaps, because I know after the first baby you don't take as many as all the other children, and it's quite nice if you've been for a visit and taken lots of pictures. You know, send them a little album showing them the pictures that you've taken. So I'm going to put a piece here in the back as well. As I say, all the measurements are over on my website, so don't feel that I'm not giving them to you, because it's just probably easier if you get them from there rather than me going on about measurements as I'm going along. Okay, now at this stage, this is where I'm going to just fold this back and we'll start attaching our waterfall. But before I do, I'm going to cover all the pages of my waterfall. Let's get those all covered. So I've got some lovely pattern papers again here, and I've put papers on both sides. Now you may feel that if you're going to put big photos on your album, on this waterfall page, you know exactly what photos you're going to use. You could actually cut your photos to the size of the pattern papers, and then you haven't got to worry about wasting pattern papers on this part. So this is another thing you could be thinking about. Okay, so that's one. So let me carry on with the rest of these. Okay, really quick. These albums are quick to make, and I hope you're enjoying seeing it in real time. I know a lot of my crafters do like to craft along with me in real time. If you're new to my channel and you've just come across me by sheer accident on YouTube or the big wide world web, you know, it's a marvellous place to be. Do press the subscribe button. Oh, that one's a bit long, see? I'm going to have to trim that off. So going with my scissors. Yes, do press my subscribe button because, yeah, all sorts happen over there. I've got lots of video tutorials on there. So, you know, don't be afraid to press subscribe. What will happen is every time I add a new video, all you'll get is a notification. That's as quick as easy as it is. Now I'm just going to check this other green one is the right size as well. No, it's not. So let me just trim this down. I must have got a bit carried away with that one. Wasn't reading my own instructions. So let's plonk this one down. Right. So yeah, don't forget to press that subscribe button. You know, you can hold videos in your favourites as well. That's another thing you can do with videos that you're watching on YouTube. You can hold them to your favourites. So you go back to your part, you can always save them. And these albums are great for that because it is one of those that you will keep coming back to and making more and more. They get very addictive. And when you think all I've used for the actual album and the presentation box is 5 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock and some pattern paper. Your pattern paper will vary depending on what you've got, whether you've gone with 6 by 6 or 12 by 12. Choice is yours. So let's put this up there. Right, so now let's attach our waterfall. So, okay. Now, the fact I think is probably easier is to go, let's go from the bottom. So you know you've got space for the others to fit. And they will all fit. So you're going to have that little effect. Okay, so they'll all fit beautifully. So I'm going to start from the bottom. So I'm going to take my double-sided tape off. Now, if you're a bit worried about, oh, if I put it down with double-sided tape and you know, once it's down, and you want a bit of wiggle room, you know those like Pritt Stick glue sticks, you can pop a bit of that on there to give you a bit more wiggle room. But what I'm doing is I'm holding my finger under there, and then I'm going to line this up at the bottom where I'm happy it is, and then when I'm happy with where it is, push that down, and then I'm just going to go with my bone folder and secure that in place. So that's got the greenery on that side, so the next one needs to have the brown because I've did 2 of each. But this is where these are great for scraps. You know, I bet you've all got scraps of paper everywhere. So all you're going to do now is you're going to line that up with that one, and that's as easy as it is. So again, going with your bone folder and flat that down. Okay, and now another green one. Lay it out flat. In at the bottom. Okay, easy as that. And then the last one. That's it. Last one on there. rub that down, and there you go. So there's your waterfall, all ready to go. So straight away you can have 8 on there, 9 with the back, 9 photos straight away on that page. Okay, so now let's look at this left hand side, because what I did was we didn't stick this down because we're going to create that pocket. That's the photo mats. We'll deal with that in a minute. So we're going to move that out of the way as well. Let's tuck that under there out of the way, because we don't need anything that's going to get in the way. So we're going to create a pocket with this. Okay, so in your papers, you're going to have all your papers. Let's move the pocket page ones there out of the way. So you have your papers that you're going to have cut, and just make sure you've got the right ones where you need them. I think that one goes there, and that one goes there. No, that one's going to go in there, and that one's going to go on top of there. That one's on there, that one's on there, and that one's on there, and then this piece is for the back. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Let me fold this back so I can get you in camera shot. Right, I've sorted all my papers out. Okay, so just take your time to do this, because you've got all these parts that are cut down. All right, personally I find it easier to stick my papers down first, and then we can attach to make the pockets. All right, so I know these two are going in here, because that's going to create my pocket. So can you see you've only got that tiny little bit that's going to be going on the inside of your pocket. I don't think it is that one, I'm just double checking. Oh no, it is that one. And that one goes on there. See, good job I double checked. So do double check, please, 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 so you get them round the right way. Okay. No, we'll have that one round that way. No, that way. Right, so let's stick these down. So I've inked all my edges like before. All the measurements are over on your page, on my page. So that's why I like to lay them out first, so I know I've got them in the correct place. Okay, this one's going to go on there. But again, I know these are stunning papers, they are beautiful, but don't be too worried about your papers, because hopefully you're going to be covering them in photographs. Okay, so can you see what I said about we're going to put the pocket over? We're not wasting any paper. What's the point of putting nice pattern paper under there? No one's going to see it. And then I'm going to put that one on there. Okay, and double check that's the two bigger piece. So that's going to go onto there. And then that's going to go behind it. Can you see we're gradually building it up? Need to slide along a bit more again, don't I? Let me move along a bit more so I can see what I'm up to. So that's going to go onto there. Okay, then we're going to fold this back, because that's going to be our pocket this side. So this little piece needs to come on here. Let's check which way around that is. Yeah, we'll have it round that way. These flowers go upside down and back to front, so it doesn't really worry too much. Okay, so can you see what's happening? All right, and then I've got a piece here for the back, which actually I might just stick on now, and then that's done out the way. So this is your larger piece from there. Okay. In fact, let's put it that way around. Change your mind, Dawn. There we go. Is that the right way round now when I do it? Yep. Just had to double check myself. Right, and then I'm just going to check I've got no glue seeping out. Good idea just to disperse the glue. So you don't need to use a lot of this glue, but it is good just to make sure it's all dispersed underneath. That one just needs to move over. I'm not happy that that was square. So you've got that little bit of room, a little bit of time to do that. That's why it's a good job to do it at this stage. Okay. Now when you come to do your pockets, you can either use a really thin red line tape or you can use wet glue, whatever you really like. Okay, I think for purposes today I'm going to use a bit of thinner red line tape. I've got a thin one here. This is 6mm. That's the only trouble with red line tape, gets stuck in the packet. So I'm going to do a piece on here just to make my pocket. So let's start from the bottom. Okay. If you've got one of those really fine nozzle glues, you can do that as well, whatever you choose. But just allow it that little bit of time to dry if you're going to do that. That's what I would say. Red line's okay. It's nice and strong and sturdy. And that's another reason we like it. Okay. That's on there. Do as I've done before. Get that red line tape to change colour. Peel this off. Oh, come on. There we go. And then if you just do like we've done with the other sides as we did it with the wet glue, just butt it up. Once you're close to the edge, and then just flap that back. And then what I would do is go in with my bone folder to give that nice straight edge. So now let's do the other side. I'm just going to fold this back out the way, because I'm going to fold, that's going to come back like that. Okay, so again I'm just doing really the two sides, I suppose. There, you don't need to do the bottom, so just the two sides. One, two, okay, and then one, two, and then I had a little bit of sticking over there, move that back, and then flap that back on itself. Okay, so that's all done. So we'll just put our photo mats in there that I've got ready, so let's glue those together. So I've got my little ones here and my big one, so let's pop some glue on there. And this is as quick and easy as it is to do the paper decoration. Okay, what I will do is at the end of the video I'm going to go away using the rest of the collection and add some decoration and come back and show you. But this is the basics. This now is ready for you to use your imagination. This is what I want you to do. You can do it exactly like I've done it, but this is where you can decorate it to how you wish. So what I'm going to do is come back in the next video. I'm going to show you how to do the little envelope and the little little pockets with the tags. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll come back in the next video and show you how to do that. I like to break these down into step-by-step videos because feedback is that people prefer it that way. You know, if they want to do one bit one day and then come back and do the next day, they can do, and they can find it quite easily. They haven't got to keep winding through and finding where they are. All right, so that's my 2 photo mats ready to go. So that little one is going to go in there. Looks stunning. And then the bigger one is going to go in here. Perfect. But this is what I mean. You could add another photo mat in there quite easily. So this is where you've got the choice. You've got some cardstock left. Choice is yours. So now let's take this all and pop this together. So we've got our newly created pocket size there. Okay, I'm going to come back in the next video and show you how to put the embellishments on there. Close that up, bring down the top flap and tie with your ribbon. Okay, how beautiful is that going to look as a gift? Trouble is I make these and then I want to keep them to myself because they just look so stunning. But there you go, look how nicely that all fits together, just beautifully. Okay, and you too can create this quite easily. So, and you'll see as well, different papers, totally different look. So I'm going to see you in the next video. Before I shut this up, actually, the next video I will show you how to do these 2 little bits. Okay, and then we'll look at putting the box together as well to pop our project into. So I'll see you in the next video.